Hello my friends, welcome to a new video where today we're going to be painting Marnius Calgar. So far I have primed him blue, painted the Macragge blue all over where the armor is, and then I have painted the black and the silver. And so now we're going to work on painting, I think the gold. The gold will be next. So we're going to paint the gold. I've got the sub-assemblies right here. We've got arm 1, the body, arm 2, and then we have the cape and the head here. I'll actually do a close-up of the head. This is how he looks so far. I haven't screwed this miniature up yet, and I don't intend to. So look at those high-ass cheekbones. Wow, dude. Alrighty guys, so here I have base coated all the gold, and now we'll move on to the red and all the other tertiary colors. This miniature has been really fun to paint so far, but a little bit tedious because of all the little chains and, extra stuff all over him, but it's like enough to the point where it's not super crazy to deal with. So hopefully this will be a good time to paint as it progresses forward. Catch you on the flip side. Alrighty guys, so we're at something of a halfway point here, and you know, I've already shown you the gold, but we've added the red and the white here, so you can see the cape. And the other side of the cape, it's gotten all the purity seals and all that, but that's not really why I wanted to record this bit here. I actually wanted to do a brief interlude and show you my Saturnine Terminators. And if you look, they have a lovely base. And look, that base is base coated with Mechanicus Standard Gray from Citadel. And gotta wonder, when did I find the time to paint that while I'm painting Marnius Calgar? Well, I'll tell you, my friend. Thank you for asking. I found time to paint that while I was streaming on Twitch. Iron Halo Live on Twitch is my channel, and I stream every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And so don't forget to follow me on Twitch and to join in on those streams. It's usually about 8 or 9 my time, which is the west coast of Canada. We also paint up stuff like game tokens, like these little guys here, freaking teleport homers. These are just quick little paint jobs I did on stream with my friends, hanging out, chatting away, did some freehanding. And yeah, these were pretty fun and simple to paint. And here's the titular green baby. Here's how he looks now. He's not so green anymore, but he's a little bit green around the gills, you could say. Anyways, please make sure you join me and my fellows on Twitch. And yeah, it's gonna be a great time. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video you're currently watching. Okay, bye. All right, guys. We've got everything base coated here. You can see we've got even his noggin all base coated here. So we're actually just gonna go ahead and start touching everything up. Whoa, okay, dropped him. We're gonna start touching everything up. As you can see, it's pretty freaking messy right now. So we're gonna, without screwing up the nice finishes we have, we're going to just touch everything up and make it look all nice and pristine, including this lovely cape, which I hope that I don't destroy. My goodness, that would be a tragedy, especially the back. Oh man, I'm not excited to paint that, but you know what? We be ballin'. Alright guys, well after some pretty hefty work here, I think I've touched up Marnius Calgar to the best of my ability. And, oh, looks like I missed a spot in the back of the leg there. But, you know, I've got the back of the tabard, got the sword, got the armor, looking pretty good. We got the guns all done up, both arms. I'll show off the freaking classic, if it'll focus, the classic freaking gauntlet here with the flames, you know, both sides. Got the head too, it's all fixed up and cleaned up, looking pretty spiffy. And of course, can't forget the cape, it's looking nice and sharp now. Alright, so now we're gonna wash everything down with the appropriate colors. If you would like to see more of how I do this, you can view my Armageddon Eradicator video on my channel. But generally, we're going to be washing the black, blue, and silver with thinned down Black Templar, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty, catch you on the flip side. Alright guys, as you can see, we've got Calgar all panel lined all over, and got all the silver and black washed, and some of the red where applicable. And we got him all panel lined here as well, over his fists, mostly on the inside actually. And this one might need a little bit touching up, but as you can see, I just finished this one. And then we also got the cape and the head there. I think for the cape specifically, I'm actually going to wash the lower third with Druchii Violet, and then highlight up from there. Alright, so as you can probably tell, I've got him mostly washed. I think I've thrown 3 layers of wash on all the gems, because we're going to do an actual gem effect on them, since he is the chapter master. The only things I haven't washed are the actual cruxes on his leg there, and on his arm down here. As you can see, I just finished my cape here, and just try to pick that up. There we go. I just sort of did a layer in the recesses of the cape, and as I said before, I did a layer of Druchii Violet on the bottom third of that there. I've also done the face and everything along with that, including the lens like I was talking about before with the gems, and the hair and everything else. And of course, I did the flame effect on the gauntlet there. The next part is to get the steps done on the cruxes, and then wash those, and then start properly highlighting. So I will be back when I've done that. Alrighty guys, I gotta be completely honest with you. I don't exactly remember what I said I was gonna do previously, but I ended up having so much fun that I just finished him here. So here's the big man himself. He's gonna do a bit of a spin shot here. You can see picked out all the details on the fist. Got the cape all done, the purity seals, the cruxes. Actually made my cruxes tan, just for fun. I prefer painting tan a bit more. Also, I'm kind of out of Mechanicus Standard Gray, which is the gray that I would have used. Not that I couldn't mix some, but you know, I had a lot of fun differentiating all the reds. You can see the purity seals and the tassels are different, and those two are also different from the gems and lenses. And You know, the red of the cape is also a bit different, just from the tassels and everything. And you know, I'm not expressly good at painting capes, but you know, I tried my best here. All in all, this is a pretty solid frickin' miniature, dude. It's like, looks really complicated, but at the end of the day, it was very easy to get painted. I'm not gonna lie. It was really quite fun. I think the hardest part was the head itself. So we'll just get a bit of a closer look there. Mostly getting the skin tone somewhat in the ballpark of what it looks like on the actual mini from Games Workshop. And then also making sure that the skin didn't interfere with, you know, any of the surrounding armor or mechanical details. Also, cool little detail, he's got 2 little freaking earrings there. I thought that was pretty fun to paint. And yeah, all in all, this guy's just like a standard Ultramarine Terminator, which is a great segue because I actually do have an Assault Terminator here, just for size comparison. So these are painted using mostly the same paints. I don't know why this one looks darker, but it does. And you can see just how much taller Calgar is with his fancy little base there. And just the paint quality on Calgar is just a bit better. You can see he's definitely got a little bit more in terms of gusto and some extra edge highlighting here and there. And then moving on to other kinds of Terminators here, we've got Saturnine here. Here, we'll move them up a little bit, which they have the same base size, and the Saturnine is, of course, gigantic next to Calgar. Right, so you can see he's a little bit shrimpy next to this larger, more relic Terminator armor here. But that's to be expected since this armor is like the peak of advancement in terms of tactical dreadnought armor. It's basically the size of a small box knot anyways. So then moving through the other types of Terminator armor. Here we've got 2 sets of Cataphractii armor. We've got the classic size, and we've got the newer size. Well, I say newer size, but it's more like we've got the older style versus the newer style. So as you can see, they're both incredibly like way smaller than Calgar is by leaps and bounds. Like, you know, you can really see just how much smaller he is there. And same with the Praetor I have painted here. You can kind of see how my painting skill has improved over the past little while. This was around a year ago, this paint job was. And it's not the worst ever, of course, but it's not the best either. Not the best that it could be. I'm kind of just going to compare the capes here a little bit. You can see my red hasn't really changed all that much. Mostly just been using corn red. But you can see my highlighting in terms of the gold is much more refined and a lot more stark. And you can tell the armor as well is a lot more refined. And then moving on, we also have Captain Agman, or the Terminator Captain from the original Leviathan box. This is a sub-assembly, so sorry if it's like shaky, but you can kind of get the gist of how tall Calgar is next to even just a Terminator Captain. He just stands a little bit taller. Granted, they have like a similar pose and similar sort of basing, but you know, I'm not going to knock that because, you know, if it works, it works. And, you know, Captain Agman here just has his standard frickin' bolter and sword. And so I wouldn't count that as a point against this Captain model or Calgar. Just, they happen to be similar models, and it's fair because, you know, they're from the same chapter. They are, you know, from the same sort of culture, and, you know, they do the same things for the most part. That's why Agman is the captain of the first company. Right, I'm just going to compare the actual cape sculpts here as well. Not that the painting matters, because I haven't painted him. But, yeah, you can see clearly Calgar likes to keep his cape nice and clean, whereas Agman does not care as much. Anyways, moving on. I've got a couple regular Space Marine comparisons here. We've got an Intercessor and an Eradicator. If you would like to see this guy get painted up, you can see my previous video, the Eradicator video. And you can see, you know, these Primaris Marines are a lot more similar in terms of scale to each other than they are to Calgar. You can see he like towers above your average battle brother. And even with the Gravis armor, which is supposed to be like quite a lot bigger and heavier, you can see it's not even a competition. No difference, right? And clearly this is the previous Space Marine model that I painted. So these are pretty similar in quality, but clearly I tried a lot harder on Calgar than I did on this guy here. I mean, there's like unpainted parts underneath the gun and everything, right? But yeah. And just comparing him to his own bodyguard. Anyways, you can see, compared to the Victrix guard, again, like it's a similar size comparison to the Intercessor. Just bring him out again. You know, he towers above them. These ones, obviously, design-wise, will fit a lot better next to Calgar, just because of their own frickin' huge, you know, their own gigantic amount of filigree and whatnot. Which these ones seem like they're actually going to be a lot more difficult to paint than Calgar himself, but we'll see. We won't really know till I've painted them. And then one more comparison here. We've got the Horus Heresy Age of Darkness Traitor Praetor here. He's they're actually somewhat similarly sized in terms of sheer volume of miniature. This one is mostly because of his absolutely massive cape, which again I'm gonna compare the paint jobs and the sculpts of. I think this one is, I think the Praetors is a lot more complex to apply, just because it's connected to the shoulders rather than just the back. But you know. And then of course you can see, I think I painted this around February, and I painted Calgar just now, so you can kind of see the difference here. You know, usually I paint my gems blue and keep the lenses red, but Calgar doesn't really have any lenses, so I just kind of decided to keep it all red. And you can see the tassel under here is purple to match his the Praetor's cape. And yeah, also I had to apply a transfer to his shoulder pad to get the Ultima on there, but obviously for Calgar we didn't have to do that, so yeah. In any case, this was a very fun miniature to put together, very fun to paint, and I think he looks just stunning as a centerpiece model for my Ultramarines army. Of course, I haven't painted the base yet, but I think we'll end up doing that on stream at some point. The base doesn't really matter as much to me, but I have kit bashed a little bit. I added a freaking Cadian skull there, and a Lictor head, or a Gene Stealer head over there. And yeah, pretty happy with this miniature. Happy with how he turned out. Glad to see my painting skills have improved, and especially in terms of my faces and stuff. So yeah. Anyways, I suppose we will catch you on the flip side. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Yeah, hype if you're on mobile. And don't forget to join me on Twitch. I stream Wednesdays, Fridays, and Mondays, if I've got time and I can get around to it. If not, I'll make a post on my community tab. Until then, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.